So today we making deer meat baked beans. I don't know if it's been done yet, but we're gonna do it today and see how this shit turns out.
Hey y'all, my name's Zach. Y'all may know me from ranting in my truck, stand-up comedy, or my outdoor apparel brand, Triple B Outdoors. Me and my family have been sharing recipes for as long as I can remember, and now we're gonna share them with you. All nanny approved, Rushing family recipes.
I have got to be one of the most forgetful sumbitches in the entire world. So like 2 weeks ago, which is an eternity in my life, okay, I got invited to a cookout. Well, I woke up this morning, Saturday morning, I was gonna just kind of kick it, chill out on the couch, not do nothing. My buddy texted me and said, hey man, you still coming to the cookout? Shit! Because I totally told them that I was gonna bring something. And I didn't know what I was gonna bring, and I'm too lazy to go to the grocery store. So I rummaged through all of my pantry and my freezer, and I came up with an idea. Baked beans. Everybody loves baked beans. Any kind of cookout, you gotta have baked beans. You can make it with all the shit in your damn house, especially if you're a deer hunter. So today we're making deer meat baked beans. I don't know if it's been done yet, but we're gonna do it today and see how this shit turns out. I personally think it's gonna be great because I made it, but I may have a little bit of a diverse opinion. Anyway, this is what you're gonna need. As always, gonna lay out everything for you. You're gonna need 1 Vidalia onion, 1 green bell pepper, 6 slices of bacon, 1 pound of deer sausage. If you don't have deer sausage, hand in your man card, because any kind of deer hunter got a shit ton of this stuff. You're gonna need 4 cans of baked beans. This is the ones I had in the pantry. They are the maple and cured bacon ones. That is just what I had because it's my favorite flavor. You're gonna need 1 cup of ketchup, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of molasses, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, 1.5 tablespoons of hot sauce, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and this right here, this is my secret ingredient. I put it in all of my baked beans since I was a kid. 1/2 cup of apple juice, full sugar, pure apple juice. None of that fruit concentrate shit, pure apple juice. I'm gonna show you how to make this shit. First thing up, we gotta fry the bacon. Okay, while your pan's heating up, getting ready to cook up your bacon, I wanna go ahead and tell y'all this. I'm on a time crunch today. So at this point, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees because we're gonna be using that shit very, very shortly. All right, while we're waiting on this pan to get up the temperature to fry up that bacon, we're gonna go ahead and get it head start. So all we gotta do, you need to finely chop up 1 Vidalia onion and go ahead and dice up 1 green bell pepper. All right, I ain't quite done chopping up my vegetables and stuff yet, but the pan is up at temperature, so we're gonna go ahead and take this thick cut bacon right here. You can use whatever kind of bacon you normally use. I use the Applewood smoked bacon. We'll go ahead and lay these in here. Get them frying up good. Like I said, we on a time crunch today, and I am 100% about to burn myself, but it's gonna be all right though. Why is this bacon so long? All right, got the vegetables chopped up, bacon's doing its thing. Now it's time you're gonna take your deer sausage. Now we're gonna cut this a little bit differently than the traditional way. We're gonna cut this in not quite halves, but more of like thirds. So what you're gonna do, you ain't gotta work with such a big piece. I'm not used to working with a big piece of sausage. So look here, we're gonna cut it in half like this right here, long ways, split your wiener. All right, and just for the hell of it, because I ain't got time to try to figure out how to do it in thirds, we're gonna go ahead and half that right there again. That way you end up with about that size. Now once you get to that size right there, go ahead and chop that shit up. Deer sausage is perfect for this right here because they mix it with pork. 90% of your deer processors are gonna mix your deer meat with pork. That's perfect if we want that fat content, especially in them cookout baked beans, because ain't nobody trying to be healthy at a cookout. Go ahead and get all your sausage chopped up. Let that bacon, we're gonna flip that here in just a second. We're gonna add the sausage in there, get that browned up, get that good and cooked, and then we're gonna use all of that bacon grease and all of that pork juice and all of that stuff that comes, all the goodness that comes out of the deer meat and the bacon. That's what we're gonna saute these vegetables in. My bacon is burning. Trying to do too much shit at one time. That Bobby Flay show where they Can I Beat Bobby Flay? They ain't got shit on this kitchen. Here's another thing, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know this now. We're not going for a crispy bacon. You want it to be a little bit pliable. You don't want to be biting into these beans and get something gonna chip your damn tooth. You just want to get it cooked up enough where it's a little bit pliable and got some browning on it. If this sumbitch will cooperate and flip the correct way. Thank you, right there. Go ahead and get that on there, and I'm getting hit with bacon grease, so we're gonna put that on that. Now, finish cutting up this sausage. All right, y'all, bacon's crispy enough. Got a little bit of browning color on it. We're gonna go ahead and transfer this over to that Dixie plate with the paper towels on it, let it drain off. We ain't even gonna clean up the damn skillet, right? Off the damn, get out of there. Too much bacon. Nope, never enough bacon. All right, as soon as you get the bacon out of there, go ahead and grab your chopped up deer meat, throw it right in there in that bacon grease. Go ahead and brown that up too. It's gonna be a really meaty baked bean. It's gonna be like a whole meal in one. All right, oven's preheated, multitasking, doing all the shit, time crunch. Now, speaking of that, while this right here is browning, you can go ahead, I want you to open all 4 cans, 16-ounce cans of your baked beans, but I want you to drain 3 of them. Just keep the juice in 1 of them. Drain 3 of them. You don't need all that juice. We putting all the good shit in it right there. Drain 3 of them. Got it? Oh yeah, y'all. You see all this goodness, all this flavor out of this deer meat right here, out of this deer sausage is all coming out. We'll get a little bit more of a browning on it. All you should have to stir it is just 1 time. You stir this stuff 1 time, it's over with. It's steaming everywhere, all over me. It might be burning a little bit hot. It'll be all right. That's got about another minute on it right there. We're gonna be cooking vegetables. I'm gonna leave that off. Try to let a little bit of that evaporation effect happen. It's like cooking and getting a facial at the same time. Not that kind of facial, you nasty. Y'all need church. All right, y'all. Deer meat's been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes now. Got some good browning on it. Get you a slotted spoon. Remove all the deer meat. Try to leave as much of the juice in there as possible. Keep it separate from your bacon. Put it in a different container. We'll scoop all of this out of there. Give it just a second to drain and put it all in a separate container.
I look good 24/7. 24/7. All y'all times, I'm in 11.
All right, y'all.
I'm in 11.
Got your deer meat in a separate container. Don't waste no time. We're gonna go right in there. Y'all see all them, you see all the little crusties and stuff that's like fixed to the bottom of the pan from the bacon and the deer meat? Don't worry about that. Just fit to take care of it. 1 whole diced up Vidalia onion. All the oils from the onion are gonna cut loose and deglaze the bottom of that pan. It's gonna get all that goodness off the bottom. Get all of that in there. And 1 whole green bell pepper. Chopped up, cut up like roughly. It ain't gotta be exact. Throw that shit in there. Now when we go in cooking these vegetables, most of the time you want to cook a damn onion down to where it's completely translucent. That's not what we're going for here today. You do that, they're gonna get lost in the beans, you're gonna forget they were even in there. So all we're looking for is just a little bit of softening on the damn onions. Don't cook them like you're grilling onions. That's a completely separate dish. This right here, we're just trying to let it soak up all of that flavor, get all of that goodness off the bottom, and just kind of get a little bit softer. You don't want them raw, but you don't want them all the way cooked either. There's an Italian word for that. El dente. Make your onions el dente. Ah! Losing damn bell peppers. Get back in there. All right, let them do his thing. I can move this cutting board now. I don't need this no more. Actually, I do. All right, y'all. Once you gave your bacon time to cool down, kind of firm up a little bit, drain off on them paper towels on the Dixie plate, go ahead and plop out that bacon right there on the damn cutting board. Look here, we're gonna cut this stuff up. See how it's not all the way cooked through, but it ain't raw either. We're gonna cut it up in big chunks. I'm talking about something like that right there. Y'all see that? That's what you want. You don't want bacon bits. You want something with a little bit of meat on it. Cut it up in about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, really however much you really want, but just cut them up. Make you a big old pile of bacon. We're gonna add them to the beans. Take all your bacon, put it back on that damn Dixie plate. You're gonna need it, but I gotta get this cutting board out of my way right now. I'm greasy. Don't forget, don't get wrapped up in the bacon. Don't forget, you gotta come over here every now and then. You gotta give these damn vegetables a little bit of a stir. If you're any kind of a professional chef like me, you do this right here. Give them a little flippy flop, like that right there. Oop, lost one. You don't edit that out. Got about another minute or so on that. But now we're officially done with the cutting board. You can get it out your way. To make room for pan. Using one of these because I hate going over to cookouts and stuff like that and bringing one of my good dishes, because that means I got to bring that some bitch back, and that means all the food's already stuck to it, and then I'm gonna have a hard time washing dishes later. No, these right here, they're cheap as shit. Get you one of these. Plus, this one's big enough where you ain't gotta worry about making too much. I got a bad habit of making too much food. I only know how to cook for fat people. So while the vegetables are finishing up, I want you to take all of your deer meat, or you don't have to use deer meat. You can use your favorite kind of andouille sausage. You can use chicken sausage. You can use hot dogs if you want to. I've seen it done. Take all of your deer meat, scatter it out on the bottom of the pan. Then I want you to take all your chopped up bacon. I want you to put it right over the top, just like that right there. Make sure all that goodness gets up in there. Now, like I told y'all before, we took 3 of them 16-ounce cans and we drained them in the colander. We just kind of set it over the sink, let us do its thing. We're gonna go ahead and pour all of them beans over the top, just like this. Get all them out of there. And the 1 can that we kept all the juices in, go ahead and just pour that right over the top. Today, Junior. There we go. Sometimes you gotta work with it a little bit, but it'll come out of there. All right, about this time, the vegetables is looking good. Y'all can see them right there. Everything looking good and translucent. Go ahead and pour them over the top too, right over the top of it. Juices and all. Put all the goodness up in there. Now, we ain't gotta worry about that no more. Make sure that's off. Now it's time to add the accoutrement. I don't know what that means, but I heard a chef say it one time on Ratatouille, and I really like the name of it. So anyway, this is what you got to add to the beans, all right? Starting off, we're gonna go with 1 cup of ketchup right on top. Go ahead, don't try to stir it right now. I'm gonna show y'all why in just a second. Add 1 cup of ketchup, 2/3 cup brown sugar, flop it down. 1/2 cup of molasses. Pour that all over there. Guess I could try to get the majority of that out of there if I really wanted to. Hell doing shit when you're in a hurry. All right, now 2 tablespoons minced garlic right on top, just like that right there. 1.5 tablespoons of your favorite hot sauce. I, of course, am using Louisiana Red Dot hot sauce. That's the only one that I like. Now, 3 tablespoons apple cider vinegar. Pour that in there as well. Then you're gonna take your 1/2 cup of apple juice. The apple juice got a lot of sugar in it. And we drained 3 of them cans out so they're a little bit dry. That's why we kind of adding a little bit of stuff to it. Now this is the key right here. Yellow mustard, all right? 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. You're gonna put that right on top, just like this right here. When you put that on top, after you get that on top, I just want you to mix. Now, when you can't see yellow anymore, that means that it's mixed well. That yellow mustard is gonna help you out on knowing that your beans is good and mixed up. But until then, you just keep mixing. It's probably gonna take you 2 or 3 minutes. You make sure everything's incorporated. You don't want 1/2 of the beans having bacon and the other half not having bacon. You don't want little pockets of brown sugar in there. Just go ahead, take your time. I know I'm in a little bit of a hurry today, but just take your time, mix them up. You'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell when you can't see no more yellow streaks from that yellow mustard. That means that it's damn mixed well. Make sure you scraping the bottom. It's really easy if you have one of these rubber spoons or even a spatula. Make sure you scrape the bottom. Make sure you get all the stuff off the bottom. I'm turning the stove on again. This damn pan finna get hot as hell. Stop it. Fancy ass damn shit. Let me lock these. All right, they locked. That ain't gonna happen no more now. Now, Once you've been mixing for about 2 or 3 minutes, you're gonna realize that you got an even dispersal of your deer meat, your bacon, your onions, your bell peppers, your color. It's all the way through it. It's just even. So, just like I told y'all at the beginning of the show, we went ahead and preheated our oven to 350 degrees. So we're gonna take this whole pan, we're gonna walk over here, we're gonna throw this bitch in the oven and uncover. Do not cover this. A lot of people make that mistake. They want to cover this thing up. You want it to evaporate. You want it to thicken up. You want that apple juice to evaporate and leave that sugar in there. You want that molasses to work on and do its thing. You want that brown sugar to help congeal everything together where it's not running through the spoon when you take a damn spoonful of it out. Uncovered, put it in the oven, 45 minutes at 350. No more, no less. 45 minutes, 350. All right, y'all. Got the beans out the oven. Now, I will tell y'all this. When you take them straight out the oven, if they're not fully congealed the way that you want them to, that's because they ain't ready yet. Same thing with anything. It takes time. Although I'm in a rush today and everything, these have to sit and cool down for 10 minutes. Don't cover them with tin foil. Don't do anything like that. The only thing that I will tell you that you can do, and this is 100% your preference, is you can take a little bit more of that brown sugar while this is still hot out of the oven where it can breathe, and you can just sprinkle a little bit more of that brown sugar over the top of it, give it a nice little crust. Me personally, I don't like my beans too sweet, and I already put enough sweet stuff in there, so I'm gonna hold off on it, but that is 100% your preference. So we're gonna let these cool down for about 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending on how they look. Then we'll get us the scoop of them. All right, y'all, we've had it cooling down for about 10 minutes now. The hard work is all done. All you got left to do is just take your spoon and make sure your pan ain't hot. Just kind of give it a little stir. You want to try to release a little bit of that heat in there. Go ahead and give it a good little stir up. Make sure everything's good and combined. And then as soon as you're ready, like I am right now, I'm gonna cover this sucker up with tin foil, haul ass to the barbecue because I'm already running late. But before then, even though it's still steaming a little bit, you know I gotta give a little taste test right here. Just make sure that my flavors is on time. So I'm gonna give me a little piece of that deer meat. It don't get no better. I'm definitely gonna be adding these rushed ass baked beans to the Russian family recipes. Appreciate y'all coming to the damn kitchen with me. Make sure, if you like my recipes, if you like the cooking show, make sure you click that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and make sure you hit that bell too. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. We'll be posting one every week from here on out. Love y'all to death, and I'll see y'all next time. I gotta get gone. Shit.